Hey guys, today we need to talk about GameStop. You know, every once in a while, you see a company report earnings that are so far from expectations that they fundamentally change the thesis going forward. A single report that shows a huge turnaround so impactful that any and all previous assessments and assumptions about the company become invalid. It is without a doubt my most prideful moment in this channel since I began making videos, to say that GameStop is that company. Today, on March 21st, year 2023, GameStop released financial results for their fourth quarter and fiscal year, which ended on January 28th. There are two aspects to today's financial release. We have both the fourth quarter overview and the full year overview as well. We are going to go over the fourth quarter overview, which has the biggest and most important developments, and then we'll cover the full year overview. So, fourth quarter net sales were $2.23 billion, compared to $2.5 billion in the prior year's fourth quarter. Selling, general and administrative expenses were $453.4 million, which is equal to around 20.4% of sales, compared to $538.9 million in the prior year's fourth quarter. This following number is the big one. Net income was $48.2 million, which shows tremendous progress when compared to a new loss of $147.5 million for the prior year's fourth quarter. Inventory was $682.9 million at the close of the period, a significant reduction compared to $915 million at the close of the prior year's fourth quarter. This reflects the company's ongoing focus on maintaining a healthy inventory position. Cash equivalents and marketable securities were $1.39 billion at the close of the quarter. For reference, on the last released financial results presented on December 7 of 2022, GameStop reported only $1 billion at the close of the third quarter in cash equivalents and marketable securities. This is a tremendous improvement, to grow this more than one-third in just one quarter. As usual, GameStop has minimal long-term debt and a war chest loaded with cash. Now, let's go over the full year overview. GameStop generated net sales of $5.9 billion for the fiscal year, compared to $6 billion for the fiscal year of 2021. They increased full-year sales in the collectibles category, which is an area GameStop is prioritizing long-term growth. They completed the majority of implementations and upgrades related to the company's infrastructure, systems, shipping capabilities and online and mobile platforms. They initiated cost-cutting initiatives and headcount reductions over the course of the year to increase operational efficiency and established an equity incentive program for store leaders and tenured associated to increase their compensation and strengthen alignments of interests with fellow stockholders. They mentioned they set a go-forward strategic direction focused on efficiency, profitability and pragmatic growth. So why is today such an important date for GameStop? The answer is because they announced sales growth quarter over quarter. On top of that, they reduced expenses for operations, which means their profit margins will increase and their costs are reduced, something that will yield a higher return on investment for investors and help the company financials big time. They also had positive income, decreased their inventory and more importantly, they somehow grew their cash holdings to $1.4 billion. Guys, it doesn't get any better than increasing sales, reducing costs and generating more cash to pocket. It quite literally cannot get any better from a fundamental point. Does today's earnings mean GameStop has no more hurdles? Absolutely not. There are many challenges, both long-term and short-term, that our beloved company still needs to remedy and improve on. What makes today's earnings so special is that they mark a pivotal point in the change of fortunes for this company. For months, everyone has questioned GameStop's ability to make profits, to survive long-term, to even grow their revenue streams. Today, they showed that they can absolutely do all that, so the question will transition from whether GameStop is able to survive the current retail landscape and more about how much they are expected to grow. The prior has a very negative connotation, with a bearish sentiment outlook, while the new one is an adjusted perception that acknowledges GameStop does indeed have a place in the future. It kind of throws out the window the thesis that GameStop will go out of business. Again, GameStop still needs to significantly grow their revenue streams. I am not that concerned with their profits if I am being honest. Reinvest the money they have into improving and reducing overhead and prioritizing systems to continue reducing costs and improving efficiency while simultaneously finding strong services or products to sell that will bring in traffic to their physical and online stores. Revenue, in my opinion, is the area we want to see GameStop grow significantly this year, and I look forward to seeing how they go about it in coming months. What today's release of financial results did was show GameStop will survive if they continue operating as they have been, which is perhaps the biggest quell to fears many retail investors as well as institutional investors have been worried about. I expect growing revenue will be their biggest challenge, but I am very confident and hopeful for the future, more than any time I have ever been since I began covering GameStop. I do not know the DRS numbers at the moment since GameStop hasn't released the SEC filing by the time I wrapped up this video about an hour and a half after the earnings came out. As soon as I have the numbers, I will make a community post about it. This was the video for today. I will be making another one for this week for sure, as I finalizing the one regarding all the things happening with Credit Suisse and other banks. It's a lot of things happening at once and changing so quick I often have to go back and delete entire sections. So it's definitely been an ongoing pain to make, but I will have that out for you guys most likely by Thursday at the latest. Send this video to everyone you know. Let everyone acknowledge the fact that GameStop is here to stay. It can't be stopped and it won't be stopped. AMC had very positive guidance into the future as well, which means meme stocks are holding out pretty well from a fundamental point, not just a technical one. The future is looking much brighter than it did in 2022 for these two beloved companies. Do not let the media tell you otherwise. I have my problems with AMC's board, as you all know. I have voiced my criticisms many times and my doubts, but I am still here with you all and will continue pumping videos until we either moon to Moas or sink to zero on this. I am not leaving. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope to see you on the other big video coming up, to the moon.